Hi, I'm Caroline Francis, Director of UK Alumni Career Services. And today I'm joined by UK alumnus Jim Geisler. Welcome, Jim.
Oh, thank you, Caroline. Good to be here today.
Why don't you begin and tell us a little about your career path since you graduated?
Sure. I grew up in Kentucky and graduated from UK with a bachelor's in business administration, finance in particular, in 1988, which seems like a long time ago because it was. Soon after graduation, really within a couple weeks of that, I moved to upstate New York, which is the first time I'd ever lived outside of Kentucky. And then for the next 20 plus years, I lived outside the Commonwealth in New York, Virginia for a short time in Asia, and then most of the time in Connecticut. And I worked initially at General Electric. They recruited on campus at the business school. And then after I went to got a master's degree in business from the University of Virginia Darden School, I worked at United Technologies for about 16 years in different finance and strategy jobs. Um, and I ended up being co-CFO of United Technologies company, which unfortunately today no longer exists. It merged with Raytheon, and the whole thing combined is called Raytheon Technologies now. But at the time that I was co-CFO, we had about a $50 billion market cap, and the company was much better known for its brands, Otis Elevator, Carrier Air Conditioning, Pratt and Whitney aircraft engines, than the UTC moniker was. And after my role as co-CFO, I thought about what I wanted to do next. I was fairly young, still in my mid 40s, and I had been out of Kentucky for a long time, but always wanted to move back home. So at that time, I started to look for different jobs in the Commonwealth. So I ended up taking one in Louisville with a small business, and that was a lot different than working at a large business. I'd been at a company that had 200,000 people. Now I was at a company that had 25 people. But in my mind, life was always about learning and trying something different. And so I was keen now to do something different in my career that would allow me to come back home.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Good to be back.
What do you wish you would have known earlier in your career?
I think I wish I had known, and maybe I sensed it, but to have the confidence that you can try different things, and that can be across a wide variety of stuff. Work in a different function, work for a different company, work in a different geography, work in a different industry, and know that it'll all be all right. So, I think like a lot of people, I didn't have a lot of experience outside of Kentucky. I didn't have a lot of experience in the work world. So I think self-doubt was one of the things I dealt with the most. Just, was I going to fit in? Was this, was my skill set in this job really going to be a match? And I think in hindsight, you figure those things out as you go along, and you just need to have the confidence that it will work out. How to work out, I'm not exactly sure. That's kind of the magic of the journey. But just to have the confidence that it will work out. Maybe it won't be exactly as you intended, but it will be fine in the end.
Good advice for other students and alums for sure. How does your degree connect to what you're doing most recently in your career?
My degree in finance at UK, is obviously then a lot about, as I think about it, a lot about applied math, a lot of business analysis and finance work is really kind of algebra, right? I have a couple, I have variables A, B, C, and I'm trying to figure out or solve for variable D. So I think this kind of basic kind of math and business skills I learned at UK. I didn't have a background prior to UK, and then was able to kind of use that as a foundation for the rest of my work and the rest of my life. And I think the other thing that UK gave me that I think the school focuses on even more now, and it should, is just how to work in teams, right? UK was a big school. It is a big school. There are pluses and minuses in that. I think in the end, I was really served well by that because, I didn't step into a class like you might at a smaller school and already know everybody, right? You had to be put on an ad hoc team, and you had to figure out how to perform within the team and how to get the team to perform. and how to get a good work product. And that's a lot of what working in the business world is, right? It's very pragmatic, a lot of ad hoc teams that come together for a specific assignment or mission, and the teams kind of evaporate when that's over. And so that kind of continual process of working with new and different people, I think for me started at UK, and that's something I continue to do, 35 years later.
You had some career defining moments.
I guess, yeah. Well, they were for me. Yeah, they seem significant to me. I don't know if they're significant to others, but yeah. I think it's hard to put your finger on one, and it's one of the I think one of the neater things that I got to do was just, and again, I would encourage this. In my case, I was young to be the CFO of a public company, and with that comes some accolades, and it's nice. You can't value yourself or make yourself worth about what you do for a career, but it was nice. That part of it was the key thing for me was that didn't put me in a position to learn a lot from people who had more experience and had been able to do different things. So, being so young and getting into that position, as a result, I got great mentors. I got to see work material and problems that I wouldn't have seen if I was more junior. So I'd say to anybody graduating or anybody thinking about taking a chance, maybe be the youngest person or the least experienced person at the table, that's okay. That's good, right? That's how you're going to learn. If you're actually the master of the material and you're kind of guiding and leading everybody else, you're not going to learn a whole lot. So for me, the fact that I was young and quote unquote got ahead in the corporate world, the real benefit of that was getting to learn more and see different situations, and that could further grow my skill set.
Aligning yourself with some good mentors along the way.
Yeah, I think so. And it's something else I'd encourage, again, young folks to do. And it doesn't need to be a formal mentorship program, but there were certain people that you identify that you think, hey, they can teach me something, or maybe we have an interest in common. And so, how can I learn? How can I learn from you? And it doesn't have to be in a formal setting. Sometimes the best feedback people get is on the spot or real time. And so just take the opportunity for that. It doesn't have to be through a formal program or any formal mechanism. It's just, again, are you willing to learn and maybe reach out to somebody to say, hey, can you tell me how you thought about that? Or why'd you do it this way, not that way?
Jim, do you have any special career advice for students or alums that might be viewing this?
Um, I don't know that it's special, but I think I kind of gave a little bit the philosophy of it, which was, it's okay to take chances. I always figured that, well, if it didn't really work out in whatever I was trying, okay, I could retrench into something else. So I think you always have more options than you think, but I would just say it's going to be fine. So feel comfortable to take options. And while you probably have a career path or way in life that you want to go, life zigzags more than it goes straight. So everything may not occur on your time schedule or to your desire, but in the end, it typically works out.
Good advice. How about sharing with us a favorite UK memory?
It was funny. I have lots because I really did enjoy my time there. When I talked sometimes to other UK grads, and this is the hindsight of, having graduated in 1988, I really learned UK was really where I grew up, right? It was the first time I lived away from home and kind of made friends outside of a strict kind of, middle school or high school setting. So for me, it was a real opportunity to grow up, and some of the favorite classes I learned, some of my favorite classes were not in business. I ended up taking a bunch of history classes because that was just interesting. That was just fun to learn about something maybe that didn't have practical day-to-day application to me, but really kind of stretched your mind. So I didn't expect that when I went to UK. I just thought I'd be a business student, but again, took the time to study about something that was different. It gave me good perspective, and it was all part of the opportunity at UK to kind of grow and stretch yourself and get exposed to different things. So I would just say, I enjoyed the time, and look back on it as really, if not the best, then one of the best 4-year periods in my life.
Jim, thank you so much for sharing your story with our UK community. We really appreciate it. You represent us so well, and we wish you much success in the future.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, Caroline. It's good talking with you.